Unwind by Neal Shusterman. Part 2. Storked. Quote, "You can't change laws without first changing human nature." Unquote. Nurse Greta. Quote, "You can't change human nature without first changing the laws." Unquote. Nurse Yvonne. Chapter 9. Mother. The mother is 19, but she doesn't feel that old. She feels no wiser, no more capable of dealing with this situation than a little girl. When, she wonders, did she stop being a child? The law says it was when she turned 18, but the law doesn't know her. Still aching from the trauma of delivery, she holds her newborn close. It's just after dawn on a chilly morning. She moves now through the back alleys. Not a soul around. Dumpsters cast angular black shadows. Broken bottles everywhere. This, she knows, is the perfect time of day to do this. There's less of a chance that coyotes and other scavengers would be out. She couldn't bear the thought of the baby suffering needlessly. A large green dumpster looms before her, listing crookedly on the uneven pavement of the alley. She holds the baby tight, as if the dumpster might grow hands and pull the baby into its filthy depths. Maneuvering around it, she continues down the alley. There was a time, shortly after the Bill of Life was passed, that dumpsters such as that would have been tempting to girls like her. Desperate girls who would leave unwanted newborns in the trash. It had become so common that it wasn't even deemed newsworthy anymore. It had become just a part of life. Funny, but the Bill of Life was supposed to protect the sanctity of life. Instead, it just made life cheap. Thank goodness for the Storking Initiative, that wonderful law that allows girls like her a far better alternative. As dawn becomes early morning, she leaves the alleys and enters a neighborhood that gets better with each street she crosses. The homes are large and inviting. This is the right neighborhood for storking. She chooses the home shrewdly. The house she decides on isn't the largest, but it's not the smallest either. It has a very short walkway to the street, so she can get away quickly, and it's overgrown with trees, so no one either inside or out will be able to see her as she storks the newborn. She carefully approaches the front door. No lights are on in the home yet. That's good. There's a car in the driveway. Hopefully that means they're home. She gingerly climbs the porch steps, careful not to make a sound, then kneels down, placing the sleeping baby on the welcome mat. There are 2 blankets wrapped around the baby, and a wool cap covers its head. She makes the blankets nice and tight. It's the only thing she's learned to do as a mother. She considers ringing the bell and running, but she realizes that would not be a good idea. If they catch her, she's obliged to keep the baby. That's part of the Storking Initiative, too. But if they open the door and find nothing but the child, it's finders keepers in the eyes of the law. Whether they want it or not, the baby is legally theirs. From the time she learned she was pregnant, she knew she would end up storking this baby. She had hoped that when she finally saw it, looking up at her so helplessly, she might change her mind. But who was she kidding? With neither the skill nor the desire to be a mother at this point in her life, storking had always been her best option. She realizes she's lingered longer than is wise. There's an upstairs light on now, so she forces herself to look away from the sleeping newborn, and leaves. With the burden now lifted from her, she has sudden strength. She now has a second chance in life, and this time she'll be smarter. She's sure of it. As she hurries down the street, she thinks how wonderful it is that she can get a second chance. How wonderful it is that she can dismiss her responsibility so easily.